Assalamu alaikum Malik, here's your machine, the Breville Barista Express. You want it in black, this is the one that I have, it's very clean. Congrats in advance. It's actually, I got it from a customer that customer is known to me and he comes and goes a lot, so I trust that guy and he cared for his machine well. So I've done the service and I've done like all the things that need to be done and it's pretty much ready to go. I'm just gonna quickly show you around to teach you how to do a basic latte. Which is what I do pretty much every morning. So machine usually takes about a minute to turn on and to start making coffee. I've already turned it on. So pretty much before each session, what I like to do is a blank shot. So that's just to warm up the machine. Just press the double shot. It'll warm up the machine and the handle as well, and the cup underneath. And if there's any dirt, it'll probably clean it as well. So I recommend doing it. You can also turn on the machine maybe like 20 minutes or 30 minutes before you actually make the coffee. That'll also heat it up. Like let's say you can turn it on, go take a shower and come back. Usually I think it turns off after an hour. It'll go back to standby mode after maybe 20 minutes and then it'll turn off after an hour. You can either, so this is a single boil machine, you can either do coffee or milk. You can't do both at the same time. I don't think it really matters which one you do first, but I like to do, now I'm starting to do the milk first. Because if you do the coffee, the espresso shot, it'll cool down by the time you're done with the milk. And then you can sort of get a better coffee if you do the milk first. A little bit, not much. You just turn the dial to the front, like that. It'll take about 15 seconds to start steaming. And if you give it a few more seconds, it'll actually build up pressure, so maybe give it a few seconds. The technique that I'm going to use is, maybe just turn it off first. I'm going to insert the wand sort of at an angle. And I'm going to try to keep the wand close to the surface. I'm going to keep it sort of create a vortex, and I'm going to hold that. Position for maybe 15-20 seconds, and then I'm going to dunk the wand deep into the milk. The longer I hold that position close to the surface of the milk, the more air I'm injecting. It'll also sound different. So. You see I'm turning it off and on, because if I turn it off and start talking, it'll turn off and go back to coffee mode in 5 seconds. So I'm keeping it in steam mode. Pretty much you turn it off really quickly and then do what I say. Can you hear that? That means I'm injecting air, so I'm going to keep this position for maybe 20 seconds. And then I'm going to lift the jug, and now I've stopped injecting air. I'm only heating up the milk, and it's still creating that vortex. Yeah, and I'm going to stop the steamer when I can't touch the milk for more than half a second or something. I can still touch it, it's still warm. Keep it in a circle. It'll mix it up properly. Alright. I'm going to make it a bit hotter than usual. Okay. Now I can't touch it. I'm going to turn it off. I don't want to burn the milk, so I'm going to turn it off now. And the machine will cool down, go back to coffee mode. You'll see the buttons light up. This is very important. Once you're done with the milk, just give it a purge. That will sort of clear the wand on the inside from any milk. If you don't do this, it might block something. I'm going to quickly grab a wet towel, right here, and I'm going to wipe the wand. Please do this ASAP, because otherwise the milk will burn there and it will stick. It will be very difficult to remove. I've seen some horrible steam wands. People never clean their machines. So just like that. That's it, nice and clean. So the back side and the front. and the underside as well. And like I said, give it a purge, maybe once or twice. You don't need to do it 3 times. Yeah, that's milk. Don't waste time. Don't keep things cooling down. Do this ASAP. I'm gonna dump the hot water here. Actually, I'm gonna keep it on the side. Let's do the grinding quickly. I don't want my milk to cool down. Here's the milk. Cool. I'm gonna keep mixing it while the machine does the coffee. I need to grind the coffee first. So. Oh, by the way, when I fill the milk jug, it's sort of just below the spout for a double shot and a bit less for a single shot. I'm doing a single shot now. Bismillah. Alright, I'm gonna take this handle, dump out the water from it because it's already hot, like we said. Oof. It's hot, but I touch it. I'm gonna grab a tissue. I'm gonna dry this. This is where I'll grind the coffee into. I have a scale here. I like to use the scale to sort of make sure all the machines are consistent. You don't really need a scale to get a good coffee. I didn't have a scale for most of my time using a machine like this. But yeah, a single shot usually is 9 grams, double shot is 18 grams. You can have a scale and it'll help you with sort of getting a good coffee. Okay, that's calibrated. I've already set the fineness, the coarseness, which is right here. It says grind size. That's how fine or how coarse the coffee will come out from the grinder. Only twist this dial when the grinder is spinning. If you're not grinding, don't touch this. At the moment it's at number 3, which I think is fine enough. I've already cleaned it up and adjusted the internal mechanism. It's at number 3. You don't have to worry about it. I recommend the 3 to 6 range. Obviously with different beans you might need to change this number, but for the bean that I use it's at number 3. So this number 3, it's not permanent for life. I mean, the machine will wear out and over time you might need to change this. And when you change your bean, for example, or when the beans get older, you might need to change this. And I'll tell you how you can sort of get the best grind later. Yeah, let's not waste a lot of time. I want 9 grams because this is a single shot, 18 grams if it's a double shot. You can press this button to go from single size or double size. I like to keep it at single even when I'm doing a double shot because I can do the single and then press it down with the tamper, the tamper, this one, and then do it again. But since I'm doing single, I'm going to keep it at single. Okay, let's see how many grams that gives us. Should be about 8. Should be. Yeah, that's 9 and a bit, which is good. It takes 9, but like 9.5 is fine. Don't go crazy like 10 or 11. If you don't have a scale, that's absolutely fine. I'll tell you sort of a good rule of thumb that I use. Once you've ground the coffee, pretty much like when you keep these settings, it'll keep sort of the same dose. Like if this is 9 grams with 1 click, with this set at 2 o'clock and the grinder set at number 3, a grind size number 3, it'll probably dispense the same amount every time. So if I do it again, it'll also give me around 9 grams. So you can keep it as is. You don't have to touch this too often. But pretty much you might need to change. You might need to change these numbers if you change your beans. Once you grind, very easy. Once you grind and you're done, and you press it down, which by the way you need to press it down even and sort of firm and twist it to kind of polish it. Once you're done with the tamping, the pressing down, the tamping, this should go as deep as the silver part on the tamper. So just like that. So this is firm. I can't go any deeper. That's it. That's pretty much 9 grams. If it's a double shot cup, where did I put those? Somewhere. If this was a double shot, it'll also go as deep as the silver part. So just like that. It should disappear and sink below the rim. There we go. And yeah, it's flat, polished, blah blah blah. If you don't do this properly, so you might get some troubles. Yeah, clean the edges, and then just turn it. It shouldn't be too tight when you're turning it. It should be sort of firm-ish. Maybe around 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock you can twist it. But if it's getting too hard, don't force it. That's nice there. What I did here, so there's 3 variables. The grind size, how fine. The dose, how much is dosed. and the temp, how hard. If I want to adjust all these three variables, mainly, to be honest, it's mainly the grind size, because I want this to always be at 9 grams, and I want my pressing to be consistent most of the time, pretty much all the time. I'm only going to change this setting, so it's at number 3 now. I want to achieve a pressure of 12. That's the main objective of whatever I'm doing here. Around 12 o'clock here, see on the gauge, there's a grey range. Anything in that grey range is sort of drinkable, but for the best coffee, it's around 12 o'clock, maybe 1 o'clock. So in the upper range of the grey, that's the best coffee. You're gonna see what I mean in a second. You can also judge how good or how bad your coffee is by, seeing what comes out of the spout. If it's coming out in slow black drops, then that's probably way too fine of a grind. If it's coming out very quickly and just gushing out of the spouts, then that's way too coarse. Or it probably means you put too little coffee. You kind of need to balance these so that it creates the right amount of resistance, which is 12 o'clock pressure, 1 o'clock pressure pretty much. This is all with what they call the single wall baskets. With this machine, alhamdulillah, there's sort of an easy way and a hard way of making coffee. I'm teaching you the hard way because the easy way is easy and you can probably do it on your own. There are 2 sets of filter baskets. These are the things you put in the handle to put in coffee. Obviously there's single and double sizes, but there's something called a dual wall. So it says here dual wall. These dual walls, they have 2 walls, and they only have 1 hole. See, 1 hole at the bottom. This will create pressure for you. Same thing here. With the one in the handle and the one here, it's single wall only. So there's no pressurization. It's just pure metal like that. This is what they use in cafes. This is what I use in the morning because it gives me a little bit better taste. But you can still get really good coffees with these ones. But these ones are a bit better. This is the single wall. Sort of the pro filters. These are the double wall, the newbie filters. These will create the pressure for you. Even when there's no coffee in it, it'll still give you good pressure because all these holes are converging into the 1 hole. So it's very difficult to push, so it'll give you pressure. So that means if you're in a hurry or if you can't be stuffed messing with this, or if you're not getting a decent cup of coffee with these and you don't want to go through the headaches of adjusting and experimenting, just use these. These are very easy to use. You can even use pre-ground coffee with this or decaf. Most of the time it doesn't matter what number you put on the grinder, or it'll give you pressure regardless. You still want to have the correct amount of coffee, so as I told you, as deep as the silver part after you tamp and press. Oh, okay, yeah, and if once you put the correct amount, usually this doesn't give you too much trouble. It'll reach pressure normally. It'll give you a decent cup. Yeah, if you do sort of pack it too much or grind way too fine, it will overpressurize and you won't get any coffee coming out. But yeah, generally you can't go wrong with these. When in doubt, just use these. And as you saw, these hide in this little compartment here. Which is very nice. I put mine in the cupboard because over time it does get steamy. So what's included? Obviously all 4 filters. A water filter. There's already one in there. You can probably change it in a couple months. I have heaps if you want. I can give you. Brush for the grinder. You should vacuum it every couple months or something. It's not going to die if you don't do this step. But yeah, just vacuum it. You don't even need the brush, to be honest. Cleaning pin in case your milk wand gets clogged. See when I told you to purge after finishing milk? When you purge, you don't need to use this. But if you say you steamed milk got stuck in there, it hardened, you will use this to break the milk apart. And if you sort of turn the milk steamer on and you're not getting any steam, it's probably because something is stuck in there, probably milk. And sometimes the machine will, I don't know, you burst a pipe or a seal on the inside. But that shouldn't happen. This is a new machine, it's only like 1 year old. But yeah, purge it and take care of it, it'll take care of you. This is the cleaning disc to use with the cleaning cycle. So there's a descale cycle, which is the acid cycle, and there's the cleaning cycle, which is the tablet cycle. I'll give you a few tablets. I have heaps. What was I going to say? You put the tablet here and put it in the handle. it'll sort of go through the cleaning cycle. Instructions should be in the manual, but basically, oh my god, my coffee is ice cold now. Probably gonna re-steam this milk, to be honest. Doesn't matter. Yeah, it's 6 p.m. I need to study, so I'm drinking coffee at 6 p.m. Alright, what am I doing? Yeah, you need to clean it. So sometimes it'll say clean me or descale. When it's blinking, it's descale. When it's solid, when it's blinking, it's clean. When it's solid, it's descale. So imagine solid is heavy, so it goes down. Solid is heavy, it goes down. So the one under is descale when it's solid. When it's blinking, it's clean. To do the cleaning cycle, which is when it's blinking, you hold these two. It'll initiate cleaning mode. And obviously you need this and the tablet in there. To go to descale mode, you press this double shot and power. You hold them together and it's in descale mode now. Descale mode, pretty much you put acid in there and you press this button and then you press this, then you press this to sort of get all the calcium from the pipes. I've already done that and it's pretty clean. To be honest, I might continue on with the coffee now. Yeah, so I have the correct dose in here. I'm just going to need a cup. Where's my cup? You can add sugar now at this step before doing the espresso, actual espresso, because it'll mix easier when you put it earlier. You can use this hot water spout right here. It's right here, you can't see it probably. You turn it forwards, not backwards. Turn it away from you. It'll give you straight hot water. You can use this to warm up your cup. If you want to fill your cup with hot water to get that really hot coffee. You can use this to brew tea or make Americanos. If you don't turn it off, it'll give you 250 mils, pretty much up to here, 250 mils. If you turn it off earlier, obviously it's up to you. I'm going to add sugar now. And a little bit of water, there's a little bit of hot water. Cool. You can also reprogram the buttons. So the way you do that, you press program, and you press the button, it'll start making coffee, and then you press it again when you're happy with the volume. It'll save that volume and it'll do it every time. I'm gonna do this for you for the single cup. You can do that for the double cup, but I think it's already set up. See how I said 9 grams of single shot of coffee, 18 grams for a double shot. If you double those numbers, the coffee numbers, you'll get sort of espresso numbers. So if I grind 18 grams, I should get 36, maybe 40. 36 grams or 40 grams of espresso. If you don't have a scale, that's fine again. You can sort of judge it by eye level. Yeah, so 20 for a single shot, 40 for a double shot. That's around that range. Again, it's up to you if you want more, if you want less, if you want it really strong. I'm going to calibrate this. And I know by eye what a single and double look like, so I'm going to do that. But you can also put this scale here. I could probably get away with putting the scale here and sort of live monitoring the volume. I'm going to just do it by eye, to be honest. Monitor the pressure, obviously. This is the main important factor for getting a good coffee. If you get around 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock to maybe 1 o'clock, see, it's going to start low, then it's going to go higher. That's around 1 o'clock, very nice. It's coming out a little bit too fast, but that's fine. It should come out sort of as as in consistent streams of coffee, almost like brown honey. It shouldn't come out in black drops, because that's way too slow. It shouldn't come out gushing all around like crazy, because that's way too quick. That's 30 grams, that's not 20 grams, but that's fine. I can do this later. Or you can do this later, to be honest. I don't want to waste your time. I think that's done. See, we got good pressure and good crema. It'll probably taste decent. Not amazing, but decent. It'll taste amazing only when you get like the grind right, the pressure right, and use fresh beans. These beans are pretty old, so I don't think it will give us good taste. But yeah, I use them to demo. The milk shouldn't be standing out there too long, so I'm going to swirl it around anyway to mix it up. Tap it on the counter if it's too bubbly or there's bubbles you want to break. Yikes. Yeah. Not the best coffee in the world, because I left it sitting for way too long. But yeah, it'll probably taste decent. If you have any questions, bro, just let me know. I'm always happy to help. And like I said, you can actually get pretty good coffees using the double wall pressurized beginner newbie baskets. Like you don't need to use the single ones and have a big headache. So yeah, and there's also, I've almost forgot, this thing called the razor tool. This is old coffee, but let's say you just ground your coffee and you tamped, and you see that it's way too much coffee. You use this tool. It's like a trimmer, like a razor. You put it and you just twist. I don't know if you can see, it'll scrape off the excess. You can just put it in the bin or the sink like that. It'll sort of trim to the right level. My level was already pretty good because, like I said, it was as deep as the silver part. Can you see that? It's very similar. So about 7 millimeters from the edge. Yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. I'm just going to clean it up and it's ready to go. Hope you enjoy it, bro, and assalamu alaikum.